All right, I'm just going to do a video here going over design process and how I design a farm. I've got one here. Bring in the topography first. Drainage planned. Drainage planned has already been started. This is existing tile that I have imported from shapefiles. Bring in the Google image. Move that up above the topography layer. So the topography layer has all the points. And we're going to go into topography, elevation, click on topography, which will smooth all that out. They'll have errors because these were brought in as shape files. Click on our side profile down here on these, most likely what the errors are on these. Shape files bring in different errors once in a while. On this one here, auto slope parameters are incorrect. Look down the bottom left, was 3.5 minimum with an optimal 3.4. So change that, should correct it. First thing I do is just kind of look the farm over, try to figure out where I want to start. Good to break it into chunks. Sometimes I like to take a main tool along the edge of the farm here. Line down the edge of the farm so you know where it's at. Go into this view and redo the background. It also makes it easier to pick out a location to start. This corner here is going to be pretty easy to do. Everything here will be easy. We're going to start here. So as you can see here, I just want to go straight up and down. It's because I have this, I have to cancel. Uncheck that box there. So I don't have straight line tool on. And I know there's a main that comes up through here, so I'm just going to copy it right back through here. Then follow the low with that main. Try to get this area taken care of into here. The lateral pipe tool. Now I'm going to use the vertical line. We're going to go right off the edge of this, straight down as far as we'll take it. Which right in here where the line should end, but I want to get this up in here too, so I'm going to go extra far, click finish, save my progress. I'm going to shift this over. We're going to create an offset of 60. We're going to be going left as if we were facing away from the main, and I'm just going to throw 10 of them in there. There we go. And now I need to get these because they went past my submain. Holding control while left clicking them to select them all. Connect to. Connect those to this line. Now, to our side profile. Should all go over the hill pretty much. I'm going to use my cut tool on this because it's a bit quicker. Right along here's the ridge. See it? Going to off the vertical. Follow this ridge down right here. Shorten all these up. Finish. Select tool. And delete all those ends that we... Now if you click on them, they should look good on the bottom down there. They should all go straight uphill all the way. That spot is filled in. From there, we're probably just going to keep going. Add another 8 lines here. Create offset 60 to the left. Count as 8. Hit OK. Going. Create offset 60 to the left. Put another 5 in there. There we go. Let's fill that whole section of the farm in now. I want to go back and see if a few of these need to be shortened or not, or longer. Quick throw a main in here and follow the contour of the hill. Highlight those. Extend to section right out to my line. Now they're all at the top of the hill. Delete that. Save it. Highlight all those lines. Hold control, deselect that submain. I'm going to turn these into 4-inch tile. Actually, I'd like to see what my other ones are labeled as. They are 4-inch tile also, so I'm going to label these as the other 4 in. I can keep track of the 2. So we've designed 21,000 feet at this point. We need to figure out this side here. This ridge would go longer. We could just turn our lines and run them east and west, but there's just a short chunk in here of a ridge. I was going to start filling this in with those that way, but now I've changed my mind. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to add a lateral. Our horizontal snap tool. Start here and come straight in this direction. By doing it this way, we'll have less line. Save. Good way to start. Know how far off the road you are is change your background imagery to there. Move this line up to the road. Right on the road ditch, right there. Now create offset. We're going to go 35 feet to the right of the road ditch. That there. Now that'll be our first line installed in the field. Road ditch, create offset 60 to the right. And let's put 7 in there. Pretty well filled it in. Light all of these. Fills that in. Topography brought back up here. Down to this corner quick since it's a pretty easy one. When you come into a corner like this one, a couple different ways we could do this one. We could either run submains along this fence and along this fence and angle everything in here. Or we could run a submain at an angle up the center through here and run lines north and west. So we'll do both, and then we'll see what has the most connections and what's the best option here. So let's run the two mains. Go one vertical on. Also change the view so we can see the edge of the farm here. The edge of this farm. That's the edge of the other farm. We could actually do some measuring to figure this out too. If we take a tape measure and go crossways across the middle here, there's a total distance of 1,060. So that is going to be 1,060 divided by 60. That is 17 lines. We would have 17 lines if we do it that way. Now, if we were to put a submain in going up through here, run lines north off from one way and west off the other, they're going to have a total distance of 50, 14 that direction. You're going to have another 10 this direction. Takes you out to 24 lines by doing it that way. So that makes it a pretty easy decision at that point. That is an 8-line difference. At this point, we will run a submain along the bottom. One along the east fence and run the lines at a northwest angle. Here's the other way that would have worked. It would have had more connections though. So if we create offset left, we estimated 14 lines to the left. That took us right to the end. Highlight all of those. Laterals. Connect them to this. They're all connected that way. The other way that we were going to do it was create offset 60 to the right. We'll put 10 of them in going this way. And that came out pretty close to what we estimated too. So that's one way to tile that corner where all the lines would run fairly nice. They should all have good grade by looking at the side profile. Elevations, depths on this are not correct. But that is one way to tile this corner. There's nothing wrong with tiling it this way. It just creates more connections, more lines to run. So what's our total footage here? That puts us at about 14,500 feet, which some of these lines could go farther north, actually. So let's quick throw a main in here and see how many feet we'd really have here. Might actually be more doable to extent. Probably just select them all. Into section, all out to here. Saved again. So we're looking at about 23,000 feet there actually. 23,000 feet. If you go up the middle like that with the grade on that line, if you turn it sideways, it's pretty good. You could run an 8, get that done. So we're going to have an 8 with 23,000 feet. That'd be 1/8 that route. So now what I'm going to do, so we don't lose this, grab this chunk here, light it on out of there. We'll put that over there for later in case we want to go back and do that design again. Remember to hit save. Bring these 2 lines back over though. Now we're going to try it the other way. When you're running angles, you want to try to find out, like right in here, if you were to come straight through here, you're going to be high there and low there. So you want to find the ideal angle to tile this. Try this angle here. That line, see how it looks. Pretty good. Grade offset, 60 to the right. Put in, it's 17 for the whole thing. So let's just do 14 to the right. See how that fits in there. About perfect. Right to the end of the line, we are leaving a little triangle out here. So we're going to need to grade offset. Let's put another 2 more in there. Okay. Over here, create offset to the left. Throw 7. Okay. Now we're going to highlight them all. Extend to section. That line right back in there. That'll put them all out to there. Connect these to that submain there. Connect these to this one. End this up here. All right, that's another option, how to tile that corner. And now what you would need to do is see if a 6 is going to handle both directions. If we come up to there, right there you've got 10,000 feet. You could run a 6 going that direction as that's got plenty of grade. In this direction you've got 8,000 feet. So this tiles that entire hole now with a total of 18,000 feet. A lot less. Do it this way. Okay, that's another option. And now while I was installing this way, I thought of another way we could do that. So I'm going to pull that out now. Move this one over here. Another option of how we could tile that. And I thought of another one here we could try that. So offset this one. We're going to offset this about 35, 40 feet into the field. That's the fence. The wrong direction. Go left on that one. Left. We also need to switch the outlet because when I drew that, it was going the other direction. Connect it. Line I just put in. Cut it off up here. Remember to save. Change this to a lateral. Save. Create offset 60 to the right times 5. Not a little farther than I thought there. So now what we can do is come back in here. We can grab our main and put a point right here to line up with this line. Save it. Now what you can do is delete the line that's behind it right there and delete this line. So now that line actually becomes your outside one. Okay. Now, keep going. We're going to create another offset, 60 to the right. We're going to do 120. Way it skips line. Now we're going to see if we can start bringing these straight back. There. Well, that's not going to work. Thought was to these in this way and tile the whole farm this way, but they start working when you get up into here. They'll all work that way and run in contours. Down here they will not. So they start working really good right here. Technically, angle all those. See where we're at for footage right now. We're down at 16,000 feet doing it this way. Longer lines give you less footage, but also saves the customer money and you less work in the end. I don't think that one's going to work out. We'll just delete those. Delete that. So this is the best plan right here. Take this and move it back in there. It takes care of that side. Now we've got a little hole right here that either it needs to go out right here if there's an outlet, or if not, it falls off 1, 2, 3. It falls off 3 foot. So we had to get in there at 4 foot. You'd be 7 foot deep to get in here. Or if you sneak through here, you go 1, 2, 2.5. Somewhere between 6 to 7 foot deep to get back here to get into this low to take care of that. Skip that for now. Go north up here now. Start down here in the corner. This is the ultimate low in this corner, so the water's got to go out here. We'll bring our main right up through here. End it right there. Then we'll come over to the other side here. This hole here is a pretty good sized hole. Probably got to, actually, we'll go back to our node tool, select this main. I don't ever just drag the end. Usually I'll add a line right there, and then I'll grab this one. Take that around the back over here. Finish this out. See if we can, how deep we're going to be going that way. Gonna get 7 foot deep to get back there, which I think that's the only way to go. Because if you go north, this being the lowest contour, 1, 2, 3, that's 7 foot there too. We could go this direction, but you'd be just as deep, and you'd be running 2 lines instead of just 1. Probably leave it the way we got it. I'm back over the hill here. Start putting some laterals in off this. This lays out pretty easy. Same thing here. We're going to want to find the edge of the property line. Best way to do that is run a main down the property line, finish. Now we're going to create offset 40 to the left. I'll put my lateral in. Start it right there. Run it up the hill, finish, save. Delete that one we offset in there. See what the error is on this line. We'll also bring this back down so we can see what we're doing. Guessing it's at the beginning of the line. Not connected to the line, so what we need to do is connect it here. The error went away. So that is a 1,065 foot line that lays out really nice. We're going to create offset on that one. And it's probably going to be at least 15 to the right. Let's go back in there a ways. So then those could start getting long again, actually. So we need to put a false contour in up here on this hill. Probably right along here. Now see, we're getting into a section here now. There's another contour here. These lines will work if we keep extending them here, but this is where we need to decide. We can take the water both directions at this point. So if we zoom out a little bit, this area here can go this way or it can go this way. And to decide where you're going to take it then, first and foremost, you want to know where the better outlet is. So sometimes you need to ask that with the locate crew or the farmer, or one of us might know. But at this point, you have to realize we're already going through overcut here. This is a grounded out wet spot. I don't know if we want to bring all that water down there. So what we might want to do is put another false contour in. Basically, right here, all of this would probably want to stay. Everything south of that should go south. Everything north of that should go north. So we need to go back and cut these off also. There's a hill right here. We don't need to tile. Take those off the top of that hill. Back and highlight them. Hit delete. Same thing down here. We could throw a couple shorties in right along the road. Save. Now we're going to offset those. Tail of that wasn't long enough to hook onto it. So go. Now we're connected. When you're connected and you create your offset, they will offset connect. Throw 5 more of those into the left. That'll fill that corner in. That takes care of pretty much all of that. We quick take all these and turn them into 4-inch tile. And at that point, now we've installed 40,000 feet basically. Over the hill, we'll finish this side out. Since we're already going straight left, we'll probably continue that. So what we need to do is take our main here. We either keep running these lines straight left off from here like this, or at some point we turn them and run them north. I think the straight left's going to work. So we'll We'll go back to our select tool. Create offset to the right. Let's throw another 8 in there. There we go. Right to the end. Oh, too many. Delete that. And let's quick select all of these here. Extend to our false contour we made. How do they all look when you click on them? They all look good. Well, let's see. This one here, you're already in the hill. You can delete that top one. That's not going to do any good for anybody. At this point, ideal way to do this would probably be do double connections. You'd have less lines if this submain would have turned and went along the grove here, and then we ran lines straight north. But I mean, it's kind of got a funky contour here, so we might be better off to just go the opposite direction and fill it in. So an easy way to do that quick, take one of your outside lines, go to the end, chop a little bit off the end of it, take that little end piece, switch the outlet so it's now going the other direction, and extend it to the boundary. Shoot it all the way back across. Now go back across on the other side of the boundary there, and break it off there. Delete that long one you just put in, and then connect this to main. Save it. Click on that. Make sure it's gonna work. Not the most ideal, but I think everyone south of that will be. So create offset 60 to the right times 5. Then that fills all that in. It should all look pretty. The only thing we could do differently here is, depending on if we can't get in here very deep, like right now we're going to be getting in there at 470. We don't need to be that deep. Let's get in there at like 4.2. Now if we click on that, we're coming in there at 4.2. Good plow over. That way we just go back and forth through this hole. Okay, that takes care of that. We're going to want to size that tile too. So let's, after the hill, let's see how much footage we have after the hill. After the hill, we've got 10,000 feet. So that's going to have to be a 6 back there at least. Minimum of a 6 once you get through the hill. It wouldn't hurt to see the whole line 1,600 feet. Could just make that 2 8s probably. So let's go into pipe, we'll go multiple, add pipe size. There's 1,650 feet. 8 2 coils, add pipe size, it'll be 34 feet of. Okay, takes care of that. That hole's done. Here, 4-inch. Peak here, we're now up to 63,000 feet that we've designed. Got a few holes left here. We could fill this chunk in quick. I'm gonna pretend like there is an outlet right here. We don't know if there is. We'll design it that way. And if they have to, they can bring a tile in from the other direction. I'm gonna try by just running one straight south here. Then turning around and running another outlet straight north. Our laterals will probably, you know, what might work really good here is we just take this, we'll extend it, boundary, save. Oh, what just happened to that line? It completely disappeared. So. Okay, send this one to the boundary. There we go. Now we're going to go into this view, go here where we had it, chop it off, click on this piece here, chop a little off so there's a gap in there in the top, delete the gap, click on the line, switch your outlet, so it's running downhill. Now we're connected down there. Create offset, 60 to the left. Throw like 4 of them in there. That should be good. I'll go to the right and throw another 4 or 5 in there. Go. Connect these to here. And save it. That fills that part in. And worst case scenario, if this doesn't work, what we're going to do is bring this line right here. Just try that one. We'll bring it over the hill here. Bring it right down into the low. Then what we by doing it that way, we would probably have some overcut. You need to change your maximum depth. Change that out to 8 just in case. Now we'll see how we get in there. We can get in there at 3 foot, 6.5, which you need to be a little deeper than that. So we're like 7.5 feet deep coming through that hill. So that is an option that we can go that way. And that's where you're just going to want to get out there and locate. If we can find a 5 or 6, anything along this fence, it's going to make it work. Because we've only got 6,000 feet there. And with the grade, you could literally hook into any tile that'd be at that fence. Okay, over here, we've obviously hooked into something existing here. So put that in like it is here. Come straight in as if there was an existing tile. Finish, save. Let's just fill this in now. Create something I'm going to do so we can separate these lines. I'm going to change the color of this existing stuff just so we know what's here. I'm going to move that into project tile. Actually, existing tile right there. Go. We're going to create offset 60 to the right. And we're going to turn it into 4-inch tile. Right, let's go another way to the road. Fills that in. This little area here. This was installed back in, I believe, 2014 or 15. So it should be a 5-inch tile, maybe. If it is, we can hook right onto it. Laterals. Run some up in here. Great offset, 60 to the right. 5. Fills that in nicely. So that pretty much wraps up this farm. There's a lot more little holes we can fill in, but a good start for today. We'll do a few more of these on recording so you can just kind of get a feel for how I design.